Namaste, viewers. I'm Vibhuti Jha. This is Jaipur Dialogue USA. Welcome to the show. Please like, subscribe, and support our channel and give your feedback. We respect it. We all know that India registered a great victory in the Asia Cup T20 Championship. The most important part of this entire victory was that India beat Pakistan 3-0, meeting them in the round robin tournament uh, 3-0, not one match lost. I was only concerned about one thing, that having beaten them 2-0 in two previous matches, which is 2-0, India must not lose the finals. Because then the Pakistani chanting would have been, we won when it mattered. We beat India when it mattered the most. So I want to make it clear that I was belonging to those group of people and that camp which opposed India's going for Asia Cup, given all that had happened, which started from Pahalgam. This is a very tragic development. Requirements of international protocol are different. That if that were to happen, nobody would play Israel in any of the World Cup or international tournaments or Olympics or anywhere else. So that is a political decision on the sporting arena. But this was different. This was different because now you are going to play with somebody, the country that was directly or indirectly responsible for Pahalgam, where they identified, singled out Indian Hindus and killed them. That is the issue here. When it was driven not by indiscriminate firing on anybody and everybody, but identifying people and shooting them down. That barbaric, brutal act had to be responded to. Yes, India did their Operation Sindoor and achieved remarkable success. Congratulations. But there came a moment when you had to take a geopolitical decision whether you want to boycott Pakistan for Asia Cup. Remember, only a handful of countries were playing. India had the upper hand, both ethical, moral, diplomatic, and sports related. So, in my opinion, the government was not wise enough to allow BCCI to play in Asia Cup. This is a very important point. Now, having allowed that, Indian team went there, then Indian team need not have done many things. Then there is a protocol to be observed, whether it's shaking hands with the players. You have seen it in all soccer league matches and everywhere else. People shake hands. It's virtually like, okay, I'll come and kick you in the game. The handshake is not a very friendly gesture. So Indian team not shaking hands was looked very nice, which is okay. That's perfectly fine. Or Indian state teams ought to have announced कि हम तुम्हारे हाथ नहीं लगाएंगे, मिलेंगे नहीं. But it returned into a very vicious thing that after winning the match finals, the Pakistani chief of Pakistan cricket body or whatever that is, who is also the interior minister, who has made ugly statements about Hindus and India, Indian team refused to take the trophy from him. Right? And then you know what has happened. Now, Pakistan is wanting, and they are making a claim that Indian team should be banned from ICC. Think about it from this point of view. India is the one that won. We won, right? We are the champions. Pakistan, it was obligation on the Pakistani part to have given the trophy one way or the other. If Indian team had objection to an interior minister of Pakistan, who is the chief of the ACC, that we will not take trophy from you, probably courtesy demanded, okay, I will let somebody else do that. But they insisted. They did not give the trophy to India. So India won, returned trophyless. and without the prize money, I'm told. This is important for everybody to understand that India is made to look bad in the eyes of the global sporting community that India behaved badly. This is important. This is what I mean to say that when you take the lesson, what is the lesson in geopolitics? Think about it for a moment like this. United States and the Western world, who dominate the global geopolitical conversation, they are today in the United Nations welcome the ISIS guy who was responsible for so many beheadings, whose picture is out there in the open with two severed heads in his hand, addressing in a suit booth in the United Nations as the Syrian president. Mr. Trump shakes his hand. Oh, what a tough guy he is, right? And you are looking at a play in which, when the West is embracing Pakistan, ISIS, Taliban, we are not able, India is not able to make its point clear. No negotiation with terrorists. This was the great statement made by America at one point in time, that America does not negotiate with terrorists. Mr. Trump is on record making statements about Pakistan. You know that, I don't need to tell you. That Pakistan has done nothing for us except take billions and kill our soldiers. But they are again hobnobbing with each other. Suddenly they are bosom pals. Here is the lesson for India. If Trump is open to embrace the terrorists on American soil under the banner of United Nations or whatever, if Trump is willing to embrace Pakistan, the terrorist nation, why is it that India is not able to convey its points in the manner that the world must know? I'm happy about one thing though. The global movement against Islam is happening. Let's not mince words on it. I repeat, the global movement against Islamic practices has risen, and people are far more committed to teach or fight, confront the Islamic tenets. So, India, what is India's lesson? Look at it this way. Even mighty Kapil Dev gave a, gave a TV interview in which he said India should have maintained, India should maintain a friendly relationship with his neighbor. Kapil Dev did not say that it was incumbent upon Pakistan to maintain friendly relationship with India. Ravi Shastri, he also condemned India's not shaking hands. The shaking hand was a very trivial position. If you have taken a decision to play, shaking hands was a very trivial matter. But what is important is that Indian players, Kapil Dev and Ravi Shastri, who have fought some remarkable matches against Imran Khan's Pakistan team and otherwise, they are complaining about India's behavior. They are not talking about the fact that Pakistan is at fault for doing what it did. It reminds me of, 59 people were burnt in a coach in Godhra, and that resulted in a retaliation. That retaliation is the story, not the one which started it. Right or wrong, I'm not in the judgment of that. But on the terms of pure impact and implication, Pakistan has dared to, I say, use this moment on India's behavior to appeal to ICC, which I'm 100% sure ICC will reject, even though the Pakistanis are saying, oh, all the top three people in ICC are Indian, so nothing is going to happen. So they are beating the drum against India in reference to other countries. India has never asked for expulsion of Pakistan for its behaviors. Pakistan has already been, kind of sidelined by by the ICC and others. That no Pakistan tournament happens in Pakistan; it goes to Dubai, neutral territory. India insisted upon that. That was a good one. But what I'm trying to say to you here is that we must take action once you take the decision. And if you take a decision in between to do something, then you have to remember the repercussions of that. And that even look at it this way. Even Shashi Tharoor, who probably has never played cricket in his life, he commented upon this team selection for the final match. This is the extent to which Indians indulge in stupidities. What business did Shashi Tharoor have to comment upon on the Indian team selection? He also insinuated, hinted that there was favoritism involved in team selection and the team batting order. You know, what do you think it is about? It is about people taking shots at you because you gave them a moment. Freedom of speech and all those things, blah blah blah, is a different matter. But that did Shashi Tharoor have a locus standi to comment upon the team selection? Wasn't it the same batting order? Changed batting order allowed India to win the championship. Think about it from that point of view. But he's not commenting on that. He is commenting about a batsman who was, whose hierarchy batting order he was brought down to third or fourth, not the usual opening batsman position. So now he is second guessing the decisions taken by the team and the manager what the batting order ought to be. What is the lessons in geopolitics in this? The geopolitical part is you got to make a step, take a decision, stand by it, fight for it, and make it clear that you are there to do what you want to do. There cannot be second guessing of the team and its decisions. There cannot be a second guessing. Indian team took the decision of not shaking hands with the Pakistanis. I stand by it. I stand by it for all the good reasons that was taken. But I also want to say, well, you could have been smarter about it. The tournament outcome may not have been any different if you had shaken hands. At the same time, remember, instigation of one Pakistani player, giving the gestures of shooting down the plane was very well responded by Bumrah. When he made that same response on the battlefield, on the ground. So much so that even Prime Minister's comment that Operation Sindoor is on, we won the battlefield, we won the sports field, was turned into a geopolitical disaster that Prime Minister is equating the victory in Operation Sindoor with the sportsmen. What if Pakistan had won the final? This is what I'm trying to say, is that when you are taking a step, you make sure that the criticism that might come against you, what will it be? And that's where the important lesson is. That when you take a decision, you have to go into the calculations. What can happen? The famous question of what if. That's what is important to do. So I definitely am delighted to see that India won. As after 3 wickets were down for paltry in 20 runs or so, the commentators were saying that India is throwing away the match. That was a very disturbed comment of the commentator, who was definitely unhappy for the way the top three batsmen got out. But the middle order held and registered an emphatic win, which looked very good, although scary at odd times. My point is very simple. Play the game that it needs to be. Because right now, India, despite winning, has no trophy. I don't know whether the prize monies have come or not. And we are defending our action. And the Pakistani bots and the Pakistanis are having a field day of attacking and being vile and vulgar with Indian response or Indian steps. That's the point which I want to drive at. Geopolitics is not about, I want to say this again and again, India has the misfortune of having many geopolitical experts as of today. They are all analyzing and commenting on the event. It's not event management. What I want to say is that your goal has to be clear. If you don't want to play Pakistan, let it be known. Maybe start another Super League of your own, like they did try to do in EPL, right? A World Cup without Pakistan, an Indian tournament. There are many ways to. Even Pakistanis were saying if India allows Pakistani players to play in IPL, maybe we won't arrive at that situation, as if when they played, things were any better. You see the point? And they want to play in IPL because there is money in it. That's all that is there. So denying your opponent what they want is a principal goal in geopolitics. Denying your opponent what he is wanting is one of your key goals in the geopolitical play, and to make sure that what your goal is achieved come hell or high water. Thank you very much. As I always say, Satyameva Jayate, for truth to triumph, you got to stand up and speak for it. Thank you.